Yeah.
Hey guys, so like I said, I am 8 weeks pregnant today, and today is a great day because today our little embryo has graduated and become a fetus. And so that's like the first thing I want to talk about, just kind of what's going on with the baby, and then I will talk about me. So the baby is a fetus now. It's almost an inch long, and it's relatively the size of a raspberry, which is pretty exciting. The limbs are elongating, so his or her arms and legs are starting to get longer. There's kind of little shapes where the hands and feet are going to be, and the fingers and toes are starting to form, and I just find that really exciting. The baby's eyes are also like moving more to the front of the face and is starting to develop eyelids. All of the major organs have already started to develop. The heart is beating. What else was I gonna say? I have my little book here, just wait. Oh yeah, so the nose, lips, and eyelids are forming, and the baby has started making spontaneous movements within the womb, and I just think that that is awesome. So anyway, that's enough about baby, because you know, mom's really the most important one here, and I need to talk to you guys this week. Before I made this video, I watched like a bunch of other vloggers. I usually watch people's like 8-week updates just to see what they're talking about and what people are interested in. And like the first thing I noticed is that everybody is so perky and so excited. And guys, I am exhausted. Like this video almost didn't get made. I had no motivation to make it. I have wet hair in this video, and I'm wearing like an old t-shirt and workout shorts. Like I can't even believe that I'm making this video right now because I am so exhausted. Last night, for example, I was watching Jeff's sister's kids for a couple hours. They were angels, like they were so good. So I was watching like a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and then I had my little boy, he's almost 2. And Jeff was home with me, and we like played with them outside, and they kind of did their own thing and were awesome. And then when they went home and my baby went to sleep, I was so tired. Like I literally I didn't even brush my teeth. I just walked into my bedroom, took my pants off. I had on like my bra and the shirt I was wearing, and I just got in bed. Like I didn't even say goodnight to my husband or anything. I just got in bed and I crashed. And I didn't set my alarm to get up for work the next day. Like that is how exhausted I was. I didn't even think of that. I just literally walked into my room, got in bed, and just died. And I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning the next morning, and I was supposed to be at work at 6:45 for a report. So I ended up having to call and tell them I was going to be late and everything, but nobody really minded because I mean, I've never slept in before and things do happen. But anyway, so like that was the start of that day. But every day I feel like too exhausted to do anything, and I don't remember feeling like this with my first pregnancy. And I almost, sometimes I get like sooky because I'm like, Susie, you're only 8 weeks pregnant. Like you should not be this tired, but I am really tired. And I think it's partially because I'm pregnant and I have a toddler. And like, this is another thing I'm going to talk about. I get out of breath really easily. And partially I think I'm tired because I'm just being generally unhealthy in my eating habits, and I'm not exercising as much. So anyway, I guess that's my number one symptom, same as last week at 8 weeks, is that I am exhausted, I feel short of breath, and just tired all the time. So that's that. So there's that. And then I talked to you guys last week and said that I had nausea, and I still have nausea. It kind of lasts all day and all night. And I am taking diclectin for that. And for those of you who are curious about what diclectin is, because the name of it makes it sound a little bit scary, but it's really just vitamin B6 and antihistamine. So if your doctor prescribes that for you, then it is safe to take when you are pregnant. So I'm taking that. It's not really helping a whole lot. And I talked to my family doctor because I just run into her at work on occasion. I'm a nurse and she works in the same hospital that I do. And anyway, she said, you know what, Susie, how's the diclectin work? And she said, I read an article recently that's saying just taking the B vitamin by itself has pretty much the same result as the diclectin. So if you feel more comfortable just taking vitamin B6, do that, but also don't be afraid to take the diclectin. So I think when this bottle runs out, I'll just start taking vitamin B6 just because it's probably cheaper, and apparently it does the same thing. So anyway, there's that. And I went to the grocery store, which is another big story, but I went to the grocery store and I just picked up these because I had these when I was pregnant with Will. I ordered some ginger candies off Amazon just to suck on, but these are like grab all chewable ginger lozenges, and I find they do take the edge off. Like, I'm so out of breath. Anyway, so I got these. Anyway, the package is open because I ripped them open in the grocery store like a savage and ate one. I also opened a bottle of orange juice in the grocery store and chugged it like a maniac. And I like don't even like orange juice. I'm nuts. Like, I can't even control myself. But anyway, so work today. Got home from work. Had to go to the grocery store. I had to get like a big grocery order because, like I talked about before, I have no desire to eat. I have no desire to cook supper, which I normally do. I cook really healthy meals and I eat really healthy. I just don't want to have anything to do with food. I feel full all the time. But anyway, we need a grocery. So I actually dropped Will off at my sister-in-law's because you guys who have little kids, you know that sometimes it's hard to go grocery shopping with a toddler. And I do take him a lot and he is pretty good, but she offered to take him. So I dropped him off. I went to the grocery store. I looked like shit. I had on like a t-shirt kind of like this, like just an old plain t-shirt, but it was white and it's kind of getting old, so it was like kind of yellowish, and a pair of gym shorts and like ugly flip-flops. Go to the grocery store. Of course, the grocery store is like jam-packed. And I live in a small town. There's only 2 grocery stores. I literally ran into every single ex. Not that I have a ton of exes, but every like snotty girl I went to high school with, like skinny, rich, done up to the nines, bitchy person I ever went to high school with. Like, just, it was brutal. Like, I ran into my friend's mom, like my friend from high school, her mom, who was like super judgy and weird. And of course I got stuck talking to her. And I just felt just gross and blah. Didn't want to see anybody. Anyway, so that was brutal. And like, remember I told you I like don't want to eat anything? Well, it's like I don't want to eat anything all day. I feel full all day and then all of a sudden I'm starving. So anyway, I bought like a little package of sushi in the grocery store. And I know you're not supposed to eat raw fish when you're pregnant, but it was like Philadelphia roll and there was imitation crab meat in it, I think. Like, there's no actual raw fish in it. And I get in my car and I'm like starving and I like lean over my seat and rip the package open and I'm like eating the sushi in my car, like stuff in my face. Just like had no sense of anything going around me and then going on around me, and then I like look over to the side and there's 2 girls sitting in a car next to me, like kind of looking at me like, are you okay, man? Because you are hoeing into that sushi. But anyway, it's just brutal. I just feel brutal. Like, I wish I could be happy. I'm happy, don't get me wrong. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to be pregnant. But I remember when I was pregnant with Will, like, people would ask me how I felt and I'd be like, oh, I'm tired, but I feel great. Like, I feel amazing, not sick. Like, you know what I mean? I had a little bit of nausea in the evenings with him, but I just like felt good about myself and I was not cranky. And now I just like don't want to be around anybody. Like, from the time I wake up until basically supper time all day, I feel nauseated and just full and I don't want to eat anything. And the things that I do want to eat are like unhealthy and bland, like crackers or like an egg McMuffin or just like plain toast with butter on it. Like, just things that I don't normally eat in excess. That's kind of all I'm eating. So I just feel really blah. So anyway, last week I talked to you guys about how I wanted to start exercising more. And I did manage to walk 3 times like leading up to today. And so that, like, I met my goal. So that was good. And also when I went to the grocery store, I bought a ton of fruit and vegetables just so they're like right in my face in the house so that I can try to eat them. And I also bought like frozen fruit, vegetables, and avocado because I will make smoothies. Because I want to feel like I'm eating like healthy food for the baby. Not just for me, but like for the baby. And I'm just not doing that. So that's kind of my goal for the next week, is just to try to walk or exercise 3 times and just to eat more fruit and vegetables. So there's that. I'm still super cranky and super irritable. I was having like a group Snapchat with like my best girlfriends, and I think I mentioned to them like, oh my god, I'm so sick, and I told them I was taking Diclectin and asked if any of them took it. And then one of my friends texted me, and the text said like, "You're not really gonna take that, are you?" Because she probably doesn't really know what it is and thinks it's like a strong medication. So do you ever find when you're pissed off or emotional, you like project your mood onto the text? And what I mean by that is, what she probably wrote and was thinking in her mind was, "Hey, you're not really gonna take that, are you? Like, are you okay?" kind of thing. But like I read it as, "You're not really gonna take that, are you?" Because that's the way I feel on the inside. I was so mad. Like I almost wrote her back and was like, "It's just a B vitamin, look it up." Like I was pissed off about that for like 2 days. But now I know that I'm just a psychopath and she was probably just being concerned. But anyway, for 2 days she was pretty much dead to me. Like I'm never talking to her again. She's been like my best friend since I was in grade 9. So anyway. It's Billy. Who's that? I love you. This is Will. He is covered in food because he was just eating his supper, but he is 21 months old. You want to get down? I do have a few other symptoms. I am starting to have to pee all the time, mostly in the evening, and I think it's because like I'm busy during the day and I'm not drinking enough water. So then like by midday to the evening, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't drink nearly enough water, and then I drink way too much water. So when I go to bed at night, I'm usually getting up like 2 or 3 times to pee before I actually fall asleep for the night. And I am having like a little bit of trouble sleeping, which I never normally have. So like my mind is kind of racing a little bit, which never ever happens to me. I'm an excellent sleeper, and I'm having like really weird, vivid dreams. And none of them are about anything really cool or anything worth talking about, but maybe in one of my videos I'll like describe how weird my dreams have been. But anyway, there's that. I don't really have any cramps or anything like that. I haven't had any spotting, but I did have like a really dull, weird feeling in my stomach that I never had before. And I think I mentioned in my last video, like I'm not really worried about my pregnancy, like that hasn't really happened. But then this week I was getting those dull, weird feelings, and I don't have an ultrasound, and I don't meet with my OB for probably 3 weeks. Pardon me. And so today when I was at the grocery store being a nut job, I bought a pregnancy test. And it doesn't really prove anything, but I just bought one of the ones that says like pregnant 3+ weeks. It came in a pack of one of those and then one with the plus sign. It was like the clear blue 2-pack. And I just came home, peed on those. And the pregnancy line was like way darker than even the control line. And it did say 3+ weeks pregnant. So, I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, but I just kind of think or thought I needed a little bit of reassurance. I do have a Doppler, so I can hear the baby's heartbeat, but I'm too early to hear that with the Doppler, the at-home Doppler I have. It's just not that strong, and I don't want to freak myself out. So I haven't been trying to listen to the baby's heartbeat or anything like that, but pregnancy tests are such a waste of money, and I keep wasting money on pregnancy tests, but it did make me feel a lot better just to see that dark line. So I guess that was worth it to me. So I had my blood work last week, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I am like terrified of needles. And I always go by myself because when there's somebody with me, I usually get more nerved up and I usually cry. I find when I go by myself, I'm like a little bit more tough. So anyway, I got there. And when I got up to the, actually, when I was checking in, somebody recognized me from my YouTube channel, the girl, like the receptionist at the lab. She asked me if I was Curly Susie, and she had curly hair, and we had a great conversation. So that kind of made my day. She's like, I love your YouTube channel. I bought the products that you're using and whatever. And she's like, I'm loving it so far. So like, that was kind of neat. But anyway, when I got to the actual lab technician who was taking my blood, I'm just like, hi. So just so you know, I am extremely phobic of needles. I have no control over what's going to happen in the next few minutes, but I will not flinch or move. So if I start to cry or panic, I will hold my arm completely still and just do it. Like, don't ask me if I'm okay or if I need a glass of water or anything like that. Just do it. So I got in the chair, And then I asked them to like close the curtain around me and recline the chair, and I actually did pretty good. I didn't cry. It's probably the first time I ever got blood work that I didn't cry. And that was probably the first time that I got blood work that it actually did hurt. I found like it actually hurt getting the needle this time, and normally when I go, once I get over my initial crying and freaking out part, I don't find the needle hurts at all. But it did hurt a little bit this time. But anyway, my doctor's the bomb. And she called me like 2 hours later and told me the results of my blood work. So she said like all my numbers were good, and she checked my thyroid and just my hemoglobin and a few other things. She said like everything was perfect. So that made me feel really good. So there was that. And guys, I think that's pretty much it for this week. So again, yes, this is the video that almost didn't get made, and I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I promise as the weeks go on and I start feeling a little bit better and more like myself, these videos will be a little bit more interesting. But anyway, very glad to chat to you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can give it a big thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel. And most importantly, if you are pregnant right now, especially if you're like around the same stage that I'm in, please leave any questions or comments you have in the comment section below. Feel free to write me like a paragraph of how you're feeling in the comment section below, because I do read all the comments. Oh my God, guys, I almost forgot. So you know how I'm a crazy bitch right now. So people, when you're on YouTube, they write negative stuff. I talk about this all the time. Ridiculous things like, you're ugly, you're a bad mother, like just mean, terrible things that you would never write. People have written racist things under my videos pertaining to my race, other races, just random trolls who, I don't know. So if it's something racist or offensive to anyone else other than myself, because if it's only offensive to me, I can take it. But if I think it's generally offensive, I just block. I just block and delete. But if it's just mean, I usually leave it there and I write something stupid under it, like go on by, or just something ridiculous. So anyway, somebody wrote, I can't even think about it because I wasn't going to talk about it, but it's too funny. Somebody wrote, well, it's nice that she has found a way to style her hair, but she obviously doesn't know what sulfates or parabens are and why they aren't good for your hair. And then what'd she say? Typical case of the porch light being on, but nobody's home. But she has great hair though, I will say that. So I read that, and you know, normal, regular Susie would just completely ignore that or write like, go on, under it. But I was fired up, and I wasn't like sad or hurt by it. I was just like, you are such a loser. Why would you go on somebody's YouTube and just write a comment like that? A, you're speaking to me in the third person as if I'm not the one that the comment's directed to, and you're just being mean. And like one of my subscribers said, it is a sandwich compliment. So basically it's an insult. No, sorry. It's a compliment, insult, condescending remark, another insult, and then another compliment. So it's like insults sandwiched between two compliments. And that is like the most pussy way to insult somebody ever. So anyway, I just wrote, why are you speaking to me in the third person as if I'm not going to read these comments? And I said, I just speak in layman's terms because my viewers don't care what the different ingredients in their shampoos do. And I like to speak in layman's terms because that's what people like to hear, and that's the way I would speak when having a conversation. And I just said, I actually have a science degree and I know exactly what sulfates do. Go on by. So like, I was just like, take that. I'm smart and I have a science degree. Don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. And yes, the porch light is on, but there is somebody home. I was so mad. And I was so mad that I like posted it on my Instagram, the whole thing, so that people would like comment underneath and give me reassurance. It was bad. But anyway, guys, just thought I'd share that story. I should have wrote underneath it like, don't you know that I am pregnant and I am crazy right now? I have ways of finding out where you live. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I was just fired up. Normal, non-pregnant Susie doesn't get fired up. Too easy going, nothing bothers me. Pregnant Susie, crazy. So anyway, that's it, guys. I promised I was going to show you my belly, so here it goes. Again, nothing too exciting, but I do definitely have a bump, like a solid bump there. I think it's a combination of like bloating and maybe extra body fat plus my placenta. I don't know, but there's a definite bump. And when I was 8 weeks pregnant with my first son, I had no bump. So I'm going to show you. And hope you like the video. Bye.